Never-before-seen pictures of President Kennedy in office at 11.
From our studios in New York, here again is Stone Phillips.
The baseball season doesn't end with the World Series anymore. The expansion draft took place earlier this week. But for one young man, the wheeling and dealing that goes on in the majors is so far from his world, it might as well take place on Mars. For him, a bat and a ball and a mound add up to a miracle of sorts, a true field of dreams. Here's Lynn Cannon.
Attaboy, Scott! Get out! Let's go, kid! Come on now. Let's go!
I love the feeling of having control of the game and having the ball. When the hitter gets in the box, I believe that I can get him out, period.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's not your typical baseball story, although this pitcher sounds the part. Cool, confident, even a little cocky.
I'm finesse. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little that will do you.
Get up in here, let's get up in here.
But for 19-year-old Fox Beyer, winning baseball games is just part of a remarkable story, because Beyer has cerebral palsy.
Give me some figures. This past season, how many strikeouts did you have?
19 strikeouts.
How many shutouts?
I threw 2 shutouts in one day, a doubleheader, and I threw a separate one. I threw 3.
So you could play?
Yeah, I could play. I could play some ball.
It seems there's been a connection between Fox Beyer and baseball since he was born, October 1978, just days after his beloved New York Yankees had outfought the Los Angeles Dodgers to win the World Series. Fox was fighting for his life.
They gave me a 25% chance to live. They weren't sure that I was going to make it.
Born premature and weighing only 3 pounds, 6 ounces, Fox spent 2 months in the hospital. His first victory was survival.
My mom goes to my dad, how about if we name him Fox? He outsmarted the doctors. It fit real well.
But Fox wasn't out of the woods. At age 2, it soon became apparent that something was wrong.
I started walking in real abnormal patterns, kind of up on my toes. My mom's like, what's going on here? She took me to a doctor, and I was diagnosed with cerebral palsy at 2 years old.
What did you think when the doctor told you this?
It was devastating to me. I didn't know what it was, actually.
You're booking now.
Fox's parents had heard only the stereotypical things about cerebral palsy, a neurological disorder affecting muscle control, sometimes severely enough to put a patient in a wheelchair for life. Fox was actually lucky. His case was not one of the worst.
The one doctor that said it pretty good, he said, Fox is going to lead a normal, productive life. He just isn't going to be a track star.
As Fox grew up, his family would compensate for his crooked walk by giving it to him straight.
Sometimes kids would say something at a store or turn around and look, and Fox would say, what they're looking at. And I said, Fox, you walk funny. That's what they're looking at. They don't mean anything by it. You're different.
Between 1982 and 1990, doctors performed 4 operations to keep Fox on his feet.
I had a heel cord extension that began everything. Second operation was in 1984. I had my legs open here and metal pins pushed out so I become less knock-kneed when I walked.
And operation number 3?
Was the taking out of the pins. Operation number 4. This is big. It was a hamstring transfer. That's exactly what it is. They go to your hamstring, take one hamstring, put it in one leg, take the other, put it in the other leg.
After all that and 2 more operations to repair his crossed eyes, Fox says he was ready to climb a mountain. He settled for a mound.
Did you ever feel like, well, I like the game, but I'll never be able to play the game?
No. And the reason is because baseball doesn't change because some dork here with skinny legs down the mound. The game doesn't change. The rules aren't, fixed for this person. It's baseball, and you got to do whether you have no legs, no arms, big nose, big ears, whatever.
But it affects your ability to play.
At times, it limits me, but I have to realize what I can do well and what I can't do so well, and do the can-dos a lot more than the can't-dos.
Let's go, Fox!
And Fox did a lot. As a starting pitcher for the Chatham, New Jersey Cougars, he won 4 games and lost 2.
Have you ever said to yourself, maybe this isn't a good idea for my son to be playing,
organized sports?
Only a worry that he might get hurt when he pitches because kids can hit the ball pretty hard. But he has decent reactions. He protects himself pretty well.
He would always come out there and give no less than 1,000% every time.
Opponents say what Fox lacks physically, he makes up for mentally.
He's just a bundle of energy. He never stops, no matter what the situation is. As soon as he steps between those lines, it's like another world.
There's people with cerebral palsy that can't walk, that have mental deficiencies, that don't go to public schools. And I have that opportunity. And I believe that's very important, to show them that, yes, I can, and so can you.
Here's the 0-2. Boom.
Fox spent this past summer hosting a baseball camp for little leaguers. This fall, he's attending the University of South Carolina, where he's accepted the job of student manager for the baseball team. But his real connection will always be with the Yankees. In October of last year, Fox celebrated his 18th birthday, on the day the Yankees won the World Series. In July, they gave him another gift, inviting him to throw the pitch of his dreams from the mound at Yankee Stadium.
It was just absolutely floating. It was like I was on top of Mount Everest or something.
He's doing the same thing that he does at Chatham High School. Dances around on the mound and throws the ball, except this is at Yankee Stadium.
And in whatever else he may do in life, you get the feeling Fox will continue to exceed everyone's expectations, except his own.
If you asked me to be born again, I wouldn't have it any other way. Really? I really would. That little limp that I have defines who I am. That doesn't bother me. All I try to do through my life is just try to be Fox. That's it.
About 500,000 Americans have some form of cerebral palsy. Fox Beyer was lucky. Doctors diagnosed him early enough to prevent crippling disabilities.